Hi, how are you? I wanted to talk a little bit about physical symptoms today. It's something that has been coming up in my field, it's coming up in client sessions, and it's something I've talked about, just around physical symptoms and is this all mine? Now, I've talked a lot about this in my empath course, and in videos that I've done for that, and in kind of preparation for that. But that was more about emotions, because I think we relate a lot, especially being an empath, in feeling other people's emotions, and recognizing that that's a very common thing for people to pick up on. But I wanted to extend that and take that into physical symptoms, because again, I think this is something that we maybe aren't so aware of, and that when we do get physical symptoms of manifestations of disease or imbalance within our body, we assume it's just something that's happened in our bodies and don't really kind of expand our understanding of what might be held within those symptoms, because those symptoms are really a manifestation of those emotions. So it's as it's gone deeper and deeper, we might not have been able to express it, they've been suppressed, they've been held in the body. It might be much more long-term stuff that has been sitting there, but it doesn't mean it's all ours. And that was something that really came, had huge awareness of this in the last few days. It's just like, is this physical symptom and is this manifestation all mine? What you'll find, I muscle test, obviously as a kinesiologist, I'll muscle test the answer to that and find out, how much is mine. And where else does it come from? So one of the options might be you're coming from your family lineage. So you might be through your maternal line, your paternal line. It might be a more kind of multidimensional, or your own past lifeline. So you're coming down your own heritage, and it might be other people. So some people might take on physical symptoms for their siblings, for their parents. It can be all sorts of things depending on the dynamics of the relationship. But when we're dealing with physical symptoms, and this is why I wanted to talk about it, if we can understand that not all of it is ours, and we can differentiate that and kind of almost give that part back and say, okay, so this 40% isn't mine. This is my family lineage. Okay, what do I need to do about that family lineage? But the minute that we have separated it, it takes the emotional charge out of it. It takes some of the, the weight out of that physical manifestation, and we can start to literally kind of give it back. So we're saying, okay, I recognize this is not mine, and I give it back. There might be some work to do, that personal work to do around that, absolutely. But it is about saying, okay, that is not mine. I do not need to hold that. It's not my responsibility to hold that anymore. And so that awareness immediately breaks that cycle, and then we can do what we need to do to separate ourselves from that percentage. And then the rest of it is that, okay, well, this is mine. What do I need to do then to move through whatever this physical symptom is? From my point of view, physical symptoms are the manifestation of emotions, of trauma. There's always an emotional, energetic element to physical symptoms. So when we're looking at that, we look at all of the different elements. It's not just what do we need to do on the physical, what do we need to do on the emotional, what do we need to do on the energetic, the multidimensional, whatever, however many layers that you work on, and using all of the tools, but using nature. And nature is such a huge healer. We really, really need to be reminded to tap into the incredible wisdom that is held in nature. Whether it's through the plants, the trees, just being on the land, absorbing all of those energies. What is it that we need to understand and able to help us bring balance back into our body, to help then the body again coming back into its optimum ability to heal, to then move through those physical symptoms. So I'd love to hear if that resonates with you, and your experience of that, because I think this is something again that doesn't get talked about enough, but that separation between what is mine, what is not, and what do I need to do, and where am I taking responsibility or holding on to other people's stuff where I really don't need to anymore. All right. Take care. Speak soon. Bye.